Hello everyone, welcome back to McSolaar TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. In this new episode of What the Heck is Going On in the Music Industry, we're gonna take a look at some of the most outrageous contract or backstage demands from musicians. So we're gonna start with these first 10 here, and number 10 we have Adele. Of all artists, she apparently demands brand new mugs, metal teaspoons, non-organic honey. That's the mildest outrageous request I've ever heard. I mean, I was a musician and I wasn't a big one, and I'm pretty sure we were expecting new mugs or clean metal spoon and stuff. Maybe not new, but it's Adele. That's a pretty low request. And non-organic honey, that's fine. I mean, dude, this is not outrageous by any stretch of imagination. Number 9, Rolling Stones, booze, cigs, and how do I turn this thing on? The old rockers still include the classic alcohol and cigarettes, very mild, in their rider, but with the members' average age being around 73 and required 24 hours butlers and written instruction on how to use electronics in the room. This is like so weak. Paul McCartney, a forest with no animals. Sir Paul requires some pretty specific foliage in his backstage room. He demands 6 leafy floor plants, which must be as full on the bottom as the top, and absolutely no tree trunks. He also wants to be surrounded by a large arrangement of Casablanca lilies with lots of foliage, and an arrangement of pale pink and white roses, and arrangement of freesia flowers. Sound like a natural paradise. He also prohibits any animal product or even product resembling animal product, like synthetic fur. That, again, this is nothing. He probably, there's some plants that help with like oxygen, especially when you are in a closed room for a long time and there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of carbon dioxide produced, and some plants actually really help with oxygenating small rooms like that. Jack White wrote No Banana Tour, seriously, on his backstage rider. This was later confirmed to be due to an allergy of one of his staff members. That's beyond reasonable. Bella has celiac disease. Of course, I would plaster the entire place, every place, with no gluten, because she's gonna eat something by accident, pass out, throw up, go to the hospital, and that's gonna be it. White also required a very specific homemade guacamole recipe to be prepared for him and his staff. Again, very mild. Van Halen, I know about this. No brown M&Ms. I knew about this. This is one of the ones that I was familiar. Van Halen legendary rider story about their demand for a filtered candy bowl has been making its round on the internet. During their 1982 tour, they specifically wrote M&Ms, warning, absolutely no brown ones. I mean, let's face it, who likes brown M&Ms? I don't. I took them out too. And threatened to cancel the show without reimbursement if their rider wasn't respected. Experts have since called it a very smart business tactic, stating that Van Halen did this to make sure that the venue staff read their rider thoroughly. A good test. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart, especially if you have an allergy like we were, talking about. Iggy Pop, 18-page document. Oh, now we're talking about. See, rock stars are the one who know how to do this correctly. Iggy Pop's rider is absolutely ridiculous. It's 18 pages long and full of jokes, let's hope. He demands that a Bob Hope impersonator be present in his dressing room, and he wants a copy of USA Today that's got a story about morbidly obese people in it. Not these days, you couldn't do it. Not much information was found about his dietary preferences, except that he loves cauliflowers and broccoli. I don't believe that for a second, although Iggy is pretty ripped. Cut into individual florets and thrown immediately into the garbage. Point taken, right? But here's the thing, like I said, I did tour with a few bands, like big bands back in the years, and I can tell you this, some of them, they just request the stupidest shit like this, just to see if they can get away with it. I know I heard them saying it many times, just for shits and giggles and to see if the promoter will actually do it. Number 2, Kanye West, 100% cotton and slushy machine. He is reported to have requested a slushy machine that makes these 2 slushy flavors, Grey Goose and lemonade and Hennessy and Coca-Cola. Dude, this sounds like one of those things that I just talked about. It's just, so especially when US artists go out of the US, because they are treated like even more like superstar outside of the US. I mean, it's like when you walk around here in Hollywood, like half of the actors, they walk around here in Hollywood, nobody cares, right? Unless you're like Tom Cruise. So when you take the same actors that, you know, I can run into at Ralph's when I do grocery, and you know, put it outside of the US, it's like a superstar, right? So when they go outside of the US, that's when they ask, I feel, the craziest stuff. And this kind of sounds like one of those, especially because of the specific, you know, flavors of the slushies. Number 1, Madonna. Backstage must look exactly like her home. I could actually call Monty right now and ask him if it's true. By the way, we're happy that Madonna is doing well, better. Madonna, the Queen of Pop, demands to be treated like the Queen of England. Not only did Madonna require 20 international phone lines in her dressing room, but she also wanted to call her friends from the comfort of her own home. How's this possible? Well, why not ship her furniture to every city she performs in? Yes, this was reportedly a demand on her rider. It doesn't sound true, because this, I mean, she wouldn't ship her own furniture around. If anything, she would buy a new one. And this would fall into the truck drivers having to move her stuff around. It would be on the riders. This sounds like BS. Justin Timberlake disinfected doorknobs every 2 hours. I would do that too. Have you ever been on NAM? You get sick because you touch a million people. Number 7, Mariah Carey dressing room filled with puppies, kittens, and rabbits. Like real animals? That would be bad. She has previously required an attendant whose sole job was to dispose of her gum. I mean, she can't pay for it. Someone has a job, and it's a pretty easy one. Her most famous request, however, is one which we can understand, but logistically must be an absolute nightmare for promoters to arrange each night. Before going on stage, Carey wants her dressing room filled with puppies, rabbits, bunnies, and other soft animal, which she states help to calm her nerves. Animals aren't toys. Get stuffed animals. If that's true, that is not funny. It's not nice. You know, the animals would be extremely stressed out, and then what happened to them? Like, where do you get them from? You know, and what happened to them later? I hope that's not true. Beyonce again, hand-carved ice balls. The strangest request is for there to be readily available hand-carved ice balls for her to suck on. Why they can be like triangles or square? Clearly, this is to aid her throat and vocals, but why they need to be hand-carved by somebody and not frozen in shape of balls will remain a mystery. I mean, I'm more concerned about the shape needing to be balls than somebody having to hand-carve them, which is weird, but, you know, you're a millionaire, you can ask something like that. Christina Aguilera police escort. Seems pretty normal already. She demanded that she get a police escort to each concert venue because she does not want to sit through traffic. I would do that if I could. I mean, the time that you waste in traffic is like 3/4 of your life, because you could very well sit in traffic for an hour to do 2.5 miles. So I understand that. I mean, if they give it to her, hell yeah, I would do it too. You know, many times they get police escort anyway. I've been on tour with Scorpions. I'm friend with the band, actually, and I actually have a video on the channel. I mean, you can see me like walking around their backstage with them or being in a hotel with them. They have like police escort all the time. I was in the bus with them, and like actually one of the freaking, I don't know, 4 or 5 buses that they had. And of course there was police in front, you know, and back. That's normal. I mean, that doesn't sound too crazy. Dead Mao for 2 whole bottles of shower gel, and for reasons that haven't been explained, a 5-foot high inflatable animal, species unspecified. Again, this sounds more like one of those things I'm just gonna ask it to see if they do it. you know, as opposed to actually something that you want or need. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, comment down below. Let me know if you know some crazy rider requests. And if you enjoy the content, please consider using the super thanks, support the channel, click the join button, become a member, access the exclusive mixing and mastering courses. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat, lift me up, up.